This is Fred with Bravo 1 X-Ray. I've got a workbench full of parts. What we're going to do with them? Stay tuned and find out. Hey there, YouTube. As you can see on the bench here, I've got quite a collection of parts here. I've decided to build a 3-gun-esque AR, and I've got all the parts here to put it together. And I just kind of wanted to do a little show and tell of the parts that I've picked out for this build, and then we'll get into a little bit of close-ups, and we'll check out everything a little bit closer. But this is just kind of a general overview of the parts that I've picked out so far. Everything is here to make the build. What I plan to do is make a couple of different videos covering the build process. You know, I'll do a upper build and I'll do a lower build, optics, mounting, and we just go from there, and then we'll get it out to the range and get some rounds through it and see how it all does. But just kind of going over what we got here. I have the MOE SLK carbine stock by Magpul in their stealth gray. I have the MOE K2 grip by Magpul in stealth gray. I have some Strike Industries stuff here. I have their forward assist in red. I have their enhanced magazine catch. I really like this catch. It works well and stands out just a little bit more than just a mil spec one, and they're not that much more. And I plan on using the Odinworks red extended magazine release. This is their version 3, I believe they call it, or version 3. And then I have the Strike Industries Ambi Safety. I've used this on a couple of my AR builds. I really like this stuff. The Strike Industries is great stuff. I have a Surefire Pro Comp muzzle brake that we're going to be throwing on there. Some 2 Alpha Armament titanium takedown pins. I have a Velocity trigger, 3-pound curved single stage. It's just drop-in trigger. I've heard a lot of really good stuff about these. I'm excited to give it a try. I have a JMP Enterprises titanium fire pin. Seekins Precision enhanced bolt catch. I haven't tried this one yet. They were out of the Strike Industries one at Primary Arms. I got most of this from Primary Arms, and among a couple other. I'll go over who I got them all from, but they were out of this one, out of the Strike Industries. So I got the Seekins Precision one, and it looks just as cool, if not cooler. This is a Anderson Arms Oops kit. I just needed the detents and the springs out of this. I don't really need a whole lower build kit because I've got everything else separately. But I just needed the detents and springs and roll pins, blah, 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 out of this guy. So that's what I got this for, and that was about the cheapest way to go. Give those a go. I got a AIM Surplus lightened bolt carrier group. This seems to be a pretty nice piece here. We'll go in depth on this guy here a little bit later in the video. But yeah, there she is. It is considerably lighter. Strike Industries Ultimate Dust Cover. I've used a couple of these. These are great. Easy on, easy off. Do the job. Relatively cheap. Then I picked up a Odin Works 3-gun rifle length barrel. Stainless. This is high quality stuff here, and Odin also sends that out with their tunable gas block. I have to give that a go. I've never really used a tunable gas block before, but with that light and bolt, I think it'll probably work out pretty well. I picked up a Sequence Precision. This is their NOx S rail and 15-inch M-lock. Seems to be a really nice piece. There's no clocking of the barrel nut. We'll show that as we install it. For the upper and lower, I have a Spikes Tactical matched lower receiver, upper receiver here, and they're Cerakote gray. Really nice piece here. Probably do some fun stuff with that. Back in the bag here. Yeah, it never goes back to good when you're on camera, does it? Then I have, this is a UTG buffer tube assembly, buffer and buffer spring in there. This is a Spikes Tactical trigger guard, aluminum, Gen 2. And then I got hooked up by Vortex here. You military and first responders need to get on the Vortex website and sign up for their discount program. It is a phenomenal program. I picked up the Switch View, their Sports Series cantilever mount. It's a 2-inch offset, 30mm rings, and picked up the Strike Eagle 1-6 by 24 with the AR bullet drop compensator in it. So that's basically the list of parts that we have. And then what I'd like to do now is I'll switch the camera around a little bit, get a little bit tighter on there, and we'll take a look at all this individually. So just stick around for a second. All right, let's start taking a look at these things individually here. So I've got these A2 armament, or I'm sorry, 2A armament takedown pins in titanium. Say they're mil spec, 0.250 size, made in the USA, certified GAL-4V titanium. They weigh 0.18 of an ounce combined. They're even drilled through for weight reduction, bead blasted, matte finish, and made in the USA, product of Idaho. I picked these up because they kind of look cool, and you know, I'm always trying to lighten it up a little bit. I know that's probably a very minimal amount of weight reduction there, but I think they'll look good on the gray upper and lower receiver. Pick those up from Primary Arms. Next here we have the Pro Comp muzzle brake by Surefire. Pick this up from Primary Arms as well. One thing I did notice about this is that they didn't even put it like in a bag or anything, and you know, this is just made out of cardboard, and it was kind of bouncing around in there and got kind of full of like cardboard dust. You'd kind of think they'd have it in a bubble wrap bag or something like that, but here it is up close. I'm sure that's the 12 o'clock position there with the vents facing up. It's a dual chamber brake there. It's got Procom stamped 556 Surefire on there. It has like a target type crown. So you can see it's recessed a little bit there, threaded, and has a crush washer. But it was just kind of bounced around in this box, and it's kind of strange. You'd think that they would have it in some sort of bubble wrap or something like that. It comes with a little instruction sheet, and this also does say that it's made in the USA, and they're in Fountain Valley, California. Picked this up from Primary Arms as well. If you have never shopped with Primary Arms and you need stuff for your AR, they're primarily an AR distributor or AR parts distributor. If you haven't shopped with them, you should give them a try. They have super fast shipping. Really enjoy shopping with them. And they also do provide a law enforcement and military discount, so check them out. This is the Spikes Tactical aluminum trigger guard. I have one of these on one of my other rifles, and man, these are sweet. I really like these. Pretty simple to install. Has the Spikes logo on there. Very lightweight, minimal. Wouldn't be, I don't think, any heavier than a Magpul one. It does have it's spring loaded on this side over here, so you can drop it down if you're wearing gloves. But it does provide ample room if you are wearing gloves. You'll see that when we get it installed. But that's the Spikes Tactical trigger guard. Next we have the UTG buffer, mil-spec buffer tube assembly here. It comes with the castle nut and the backing plate here. It's got a plastic cap on it here. Get it unscrewed here, and it has actually a coated buffer spring, which I've never really seen before, which is kind of nice. I wonder if that helps with noise reduction. And then has just a standard carbine style buffer inside of it. And it also says made in the USA on there, so that's always good. Put this back on. That's that. Next we got the Strike Industries Ultimate Dust Cover. Picked this up from Primary Arms. I got that UTG thing from Primary Arms as well. This is just a standard cover for the ejection port. Nothing really special about it. There's no real cool design on it. It just says multi-cal right there. But these are super easy to install. You just have to flip the spring around right here. Just put it on there, and then this is a spring-loaded detent right here. You just push that in and it's on. It's very simple, very easy. It's made out of a plastic type material. Simple instructions on the back here. Very easy to install. Wasn't very expensive. Primary Arms again. Next you have just the spring kit from Anderson Manufacturing. Nothing special here. Like I said, I just needed it for the detents and the springs and stuff like that, so I picked that up from Primary Arms. Next we have the Hex Ambi selector switch and end cap. You can set this up a couple of ways. You can set up ambi with throws on both sides. It does 60 and 90 degree throws. And you can set it with full ambi, or you can put a cover on one side. So if you want to run it just lefty or just righty, you can do that as well. But then it provides a pointer for both sides as well. Installs just like any other safety would. Pretty simple, straightforward install. Got a couple of these on my ARs, work really well. You'll see that when we put that on. Primary Arms as well. Got the Odin Works Gen 3 magazine release in red. Should be pretty cool in that gray. Primary Arms. Next we have the AR enhanced mag release. The mil-spec one is just kind of flat, and this has got some little contours on it and stuff like that. It kind of looks better, and I think it's like $1 or $2 more than just a mil-spec GI one. So I prefer to go for a little bit something that looks a little bit better. But here you can see make sure you can see that. Yeah. Anyway, so it just looks kind of cooler. I like that little spot right there. And we're going to use the Olden Works release on that. So next we have the Strike Industries Forward Assists in red. Nothing special here other than it's red. It's got a cool little design on the button end of it. I just think that red's going to look really good with the gray. Oh, there you go. There's the end of it. Kind of looks like a nuclear symbol or something on there, but yeah, nothing real special. Just anodized red aluminum. Thought it looked cool. Let's see here. Seeking Precision. Let me make sure you can see this here. There you go. Seeking Precision. I got a CMMG rifle length gas tube. I just stuck it in here. Picked this up from a local gun shop. CMMG works pretty well. All their stuff's pretty good, so that's why I picked that up. And it was, you know, local gun, mom and pop gun shop. Comes with a pretty generic installation instructions. This doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult to install. The rail is very light. It's got a nice texture to it with the M-lock on there. Picatinny rail on top there. It's a pinch design, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it'll work just fine. And what's nice, what I do like about the pinch design on this one is that you bolt it from both sides, so you kind of get a nice clamp instead of having both from one side. You kind of get like a little bit of a twisting clamp. Here's the bottom of it. It's got their little design on there, M-lock on the sides and the bottom. Looks like some spots for some QDs there, but very nice, well made, definitely seeking position. Here's the barrel nut here. So this will, you know, fit inside of here, and then the screws will go in these grooves here, and that's what actually holds it on. What's nice about this one is that you don't have to clock it for the gas tube. You just get it to the proper torque, and then you're done. You don't really need to worry about where these holes are lined up or anything like that. It's kind of get it to the proper torque, put the handguard on, and it's a done deal. I really like that. That's kind of a nice design. I picked this up from Primary Arms as well. Like I said, if you haven't been over there, they usually have really good deals, stuff on sale all the time, so sign up for their mailing list. You'll get updated on all their current sales and promotions. And they usually have what you're looking for on sale in one way or another, so that's where I picked up most of this stuff. Let's get this closed here. Alright. Magpul MOE K2 grip. I'm sure you've seen these before. Nothing really special here. It does have a trap door in the bottom, but I got it in their stealth gray. I don't know how well the camera will pick up the color on that or not. I don't know if it's better on the white or maybe on my hand. But it's stealth gray. It'll match that the receiver group that I got from Spike's Tactical. It has a kind of a rough, almost sandpaper texture on the outside. I wouldn't call it stimpling, but it's more like a raised, kind of gritty feel, and then it's got horizontal grooving for the front and rear back strap there. As always, good Magpul quality. Primary Arms as well. Next we have the SLK grip. Usual Magpul stuff, sticker, catalog, poster, thingamajigger. But here it is, stealth gray as well. Got an ambi adjustment dealy bop on there. Pretty, you know, run of the mill. Has kind of a softer, rubbery. It's not really rubbery. It's more, a little more traction to it than the normal Magpul plastic butt pad on there. Picked this up because it's a small size and relatively lightweight. Plus, it was in the same stealth gray. And it's always great Magpul quality. Not have to worry about, you know, whether it's going to work or not. They just work. Let's see here. Sequence Precision. Enhanced bolt catch here. See if we can get out of the packaging here. There we go. So it's got a kind of a diamond pattern on the release and the hold open. Other than that, it's maybe it's definitely bigger than your standard on the release. Something you could find very easily if you had to. Other than that, everything looks about the same. No real changes there. Pretty nice piece. I know the Sequence Precision is always pretty nice. Let's see here, the JP Enterprises titanium firing pin. Not much to say here. Just lightened. Has some small dimpling around the edges there. But other than that, it looks like just a standard firing pin, but it is titanium. Picked that up from Primary Arms. Odin Works. Picked this up, their Velocity trigger. This is a drop-in trigger, set at 3 pounds. Has a very nice, very slightly curved trigger on it. Very nice anodized green aluminum holding piece there, or a cage device. Everything seems, I mean, it's very nicely made. Don't really want to mess with too much, but the brake on it is, wow, it's just amazing. Yep, should be great. I'm looking forward to it. Made in the USA, that's always awesome. I think they're out of Arizona. Actually called them and talked to the owner and asked him about the trigger designs and stuff like that, and what he kind of thought about each. And so we'll do an installation video on this. Pretty straightforward with it being a drop-in trigger. Makes it very easy to do. So looking forward to giving that a go. I picked up this bolt carrier group from AIM. When I got this, I was a little disappointed. The overall quality is beautiful. Little to no machining marks on it anywhere. Looks like it's properly staked. Operates nice and smooth. But when they shipped this to me, it was just sitting in a plastic mail bubble bag. I mean, there was no protection on this at all other than the shipping bag itself. I would think you'd put it in a cardboard tube or a box, or even in a little bubble wrap bag inside the bubble wrap bag, you know. But it was just kind of bouncing around that bag, and I thought that was kind of strange. But I did give it a really good once over, and I don't see any damage to it or any nicks or anything that would cause it any problems. It just seems kind of strange that you'd spend you know, money getting on a nice bolt carrier group like this, and they just stuff it in a little bag and send it on its way in the mail. So very strange, but you can see that they've removed some material here to lighten it up. I don't know if you can quite tell, but the sides of the bolt have been machined in a little bit to remove mass on both sides. Other than that, it looks pretty standard. It's a AR-15 cut, not an M16 cut bolt carrier group, which is okay because you don't need the extra length, and if you're trying to lighten it, you're trying to get rid of that extra mass anyway. So, but seems to be a very, very nice piece. Bought it directly from AIM. Another good website. Shipped it super fast. I was impressed in how fast the shipping was, and I'd never ordered from them before. But other than that, other than the way it was packaged, everything else looks peachy to me. Looks really nice. What else we got over here? Do the upper and lower receiver. I picked this up from a local gun shop. I actually picked this up just before the election, and there was some difficulty finding uppers and lowers at that brief time. I mean, it's no problem anymore, but I found this sitting at the local gun shop, and I really kind of dug the gray color of it. It's kind of a little bit different, and I thought with the addition of the red components that I want to put on it would really kind of make it stand out. I can kind of throw this in here so you can see. But yeah, I think it's pretty sure it's Cerakoted in gray. It does come with takedown pins, but you saw the aluminum or the titanium ones I'm going to be replacing it with. Yeah, so there you go. That's kind of what it will look like. I think that looks pretty good, actually. So I'm kind of excited to see how that works out. That's the forward assist there. But this will be my second Spikes tactical build. As far as I can tell, very good quality. Fit and finish is really nice. Always like to check this area right here to see how these line up, and they line up pretty well. It does have the safe fire and multi-round positions etched in it. It's stamped multi-cal. But yeah, it's just a basic Spikes tactical kit here. Nothing special other than it's gray. So, but it should make for a really nice looking rifle when I'm done with it. The black, red, and gray, I think will look really good together. And again, I picked this up from a local gun shop, not anywhere special. Next, let's do the barrel. Like I said, it's an Odin Works 3-gun, 18-inch, and rifle length gas system. Does have the M4 or M4 feed ramps already installed on there. Threaded for the comp. As I said, it was rifle length gas system, and it is stamped 223 Wild with their Odin symbol on there. It's a pretty heavy barrel. I would say it's heavy contour, but it's definitely not a lightened barrel, that's for sure. You can kind of tell by the way it's more or less uniform, the full length of the barrel here. It's got some good weight to it, but I think that's going to aid in its longevity and hopefully its accuracy. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's probably one of the nicest barrels I've ever bought for an AR, so that's going to be fun to give a try here. As I said when I was doing the quick show and tell, it came with a tunable gas block. it has a couple of set screws here that you opens and closes the gas port on here and allows either more or less gas going into the gas tube to get it to operate. I'm thinking with that light and bolt carrier group, we probably use a little bit less gas, which would help in obviously in recoil. Oh, you know, one thing I did notice on the barrel was that it was not dimpled for their own gas block, which I thought was kind of crazy. So I'll have to get on their website and see if there's anything on there they recommend putting it on properly with. But I was really surprised that it was not dimpled. Usually they're dimpled so you get that thing centered and it locks on pretty well. We'll have to find out about that. And then last but not least, we have our Strike Eagle by Vortex. This one I'm very excited for. This seems to be a beautiful optic that is going to work out really good for this application. I'm sure you're familiar with the Vortex brand. I mean, I've used their stuff before. I do have one other scope of theirs, nothing special. It's one of their lower end models that I have on my 24-inch barreled AR. But the overall quality of this thing is really, really nice. It's got some decent weight to it. Let's get this out of the way here. It is a 30 millimeter tube. Comes with caps. It is 1 to 6 power, which is nice. It is illuminated by this dial on the side here in brightness levels. I think it goes up to 11, and it does. Capped elevation. You're also going to have a capped windage here, and then they also have a spot for a spare battery for the illumination and the windage cap, which I think is pretty cool. And they actually give you the spare battery as well. There is the battery is not installed in it right now. You have to install that, which is nice. That way it's not being run down in the box. But there is a brand new one in the box as it's shipped. It's got a quick focus on it here, which is nice. See if I can get you. Yeah, here's the photo of the reticle here. It's MOA, second focal plane, glass etched, 556 calibrated, subtensions, 11 illumination levels. I kind of went over that, but yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm very excited for this. This is a very nice piece, all one piece aluminum body. I'm sure it's, you know, nitrogen purged or something like that for waterproof and fogproof. But yeah, this is going to be a nice addition to the top of that rifle. I also got their switch view, which goes on the back here on the zoom knob, and just makes it easier to get quick zoom in and out. It says adjust your power fast and easy, and it's compatible with the Strike Eagle, so it's meant especially for the Strike Eagle. So it has some quick installation instructions on the back, but we'll get into that when we do the actual install. And last but not least, we have the Sports Series cantilever mount by Vortex in 30 millimeter. Nice chunk of aluminum here. I wouldn't say it's very heavy. It's not super light either, but it's not very heavy. It's 4 screws per mount to hold it on there. And what I also did like is it has a much wider footprint as you attach it to the Picatinny rail. It does have a recoil lug on the bottom of it. It's just a single one. I don't think that'd be too much of a problem. Personally, I'd probably like to see at least 2 on there, but I'm sure 1 is not going to be that big of a deal. It is marked with their logo, Vortex, on the side, on both sides here. But it also seems to be a very nice piece. 0 machining marks on this thing anywhere. None. It's got a nice finish on it. Feels like a parkerized or something along those, or an anodized, probably anodized black. But yeah, very nice. But that's pretty much all the parts that we have to go in this build here. I hope you liked the video. It's kind of nice to see everything before it goes on, and then as we put it together, you'll kind of recognize and notice the pieces, and we'll get over and do some more hands-on stuff as we start the build. But as always, thanks for checking in with me, and stay tuned for this build. I got my light here so you can see better. Sorry, but stay tuned for the build of this AR. Like I said, I'm going to break it up so the videos aren't too long for you guys, and we'll get like an upper receiver build video, a lower receiver build video, and then we'll do a optics installation video. So it looks like probably at least 3 more videos for you guys, and then whatever range time we get set up. So anyway, this is Fred with Bravo 1 X-Ray, wishing you a great week. Looks like we have some more weather coming into Colorado this week. They're calling for a little more snow on Thursday, so stay tuned for that if you're in Colorado. But anyway, this is Fred with Bravo 1 X-Ray, wishing you a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. 73.